Hello, welcome to Out of the Bubble. Today, we will talk about an important and current topic: government, taxes, and corruption. We know that the government is responsible for collecting taxes to ensure the well-being of the population, but how is this done and how can corruption affect this process? Let's explore these issues and better understand how the system works. So, don't waste any more time and join us in this relevant and enlightening discussion. World governments collect money through various forms, including taxes, fees, and loans. This collection of resources is essential for governments to fulfill their functions and keep public infrastructure and services running. Taxes are the main source of revenue for governments worldwide. They can be direct or indirect. Direct taxes are levied on income, property, and business profits, while indirect taxes are levied on the consumption of goods and services. Among direct taxes, income tax is one of the most important. It is charged on the income that a person receives during the year, including salaries, rents, interest, and other types of income. Income tax is progressive, meaning that the higher the income, the higher the tax rate that must be paid. Among indirect taxes, we can mention the value-added tax, VAT, which is charged on the sale of goods and services, and the tax on industrialized products, IPI, which is charged on the production and sale of industrialized goods. In addition to taxes, governments can also collect resources through fees. Fees are charged for the use of specific public services, such as issuing documents and licenses. For example, a fee is charged for the issuance of a passport. Loans are also a source of revenue for governments. They can be made both in the domestic and foreign markets. Through loans, governments can finance infrastructure projects, for example. Some governments also use currency issuance as a way of collecting resources. However, this practice can generate inflation and other economic problems. Corruption. Corruption in governments is a serious problem that directly affects the population. It can be defined as the misuse of public power for one's own or third-party benefit through illegal practices such as the diversion of public resources, favoritism in bidding and contracts, payment of bribes, among others. When corruption becomes endemic in the government, the effects on the population can be devastating. Firstly, it leads to an unfair distribution of public resources, directing them towards private interests to the detriment of the well-being of the population. This can lead to a lack of investment in important areas such as health, education, security, infrastructure, and the environment, causing a negative impact on people's quality of life. Additionally, corruption can increase the costs of public services and goods, as the diverted or bribe payments need to be recovered in some way. This can cause harm to the population, especially the most vulnerable, who cannot afford these costs. Corruption can also lead to a lack of trust in democracy and government institutions. The population may feel discouraged from participating in the democratic process, as they view politicians as corrupt and political parties as incapable of representing their interests. Another negative effect of corruption is the erosion of trust in justice and the rule of law. When public institutions are perceived as corrupt, the population may believe that the judicial system will not punish the corrupt and that the state is not fulfilling its role of protecting society. Finally, corruption can lead to a loss of competitiveness and investment in a nation, affecting economic growth and social development. This can generate a vicious cycle where the lack of investment in important areas hinders economic and social development, leading to an environment conducive to corruption. We have reached the end of this video on government, taxes, and corruption. We hope that the information presented has been useful in understanding how the system works and how corruption can directly affect the population. It is important to remember that we are all responsible for monitoring our leaders and demanding transparency and ethics in their actions. Together, we can build a more just and honest society. Watch my latest video to learn more about money and personal development. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss any content.